Avs nights did not go the way I expected. I never picked the Avs to sweep. I feel like you don't pick a team to sweep.
I feel like a lot of Avalanche fans were kind of
They were
feeling like
Well,
it might have been a sweep. They weren't saying it because
Yeah.
they didn't want to jinx their team. Maybe that's the energy I was getting. And everybody thought the Avalanche were gonna just wipe out Vegas.
Yeah, I mean they were definitely favored heavily, and
Yeah.
with the season that they had, I mean they don't disclose injuries for obvious reasons. They don't disclose anything like that. So whenever a team's coming in as hot as the Avs, it just seemed like it was going to head that way. But they were clearly not themselves in any way. Vegas could have very well won the series either way. A completely healthy team, a completely not healthy team. They could have won it either way.
Well,
but that was not the Avalanche team.
I mean, think about those last two games. They got Stone back,
Yeah,
and Makar came back. Makar, his legs looked like he was very mobile.
Yeah.
Still, he was still moving and grooving.
he couldn't
there,
shoot.
but you could tell he was reluctant to shoot.
The second shot he had, he was grabbing his
I don't
shoulder.
think he had any slap shots on net,
No,
and he shoots a lot of wrist shots anyway. But he had Stone come in, and I think he had a goal in both of those games.
he did.
So that was a big difference maker.
Game 4 was bad. Game 4 was
They looked
really bad.
Like a shell of themselves.
They were.
You would expect with the elimination game like a ton of urgency.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we were joking beforehand that if McKinnon could have just gifted Makar his arm, and Makar could have just gifted McKinnon his leg, they might have had a complete player.
yeah.
Yeah.
But let's not forget McKinnon injured his leg game 3.
Yeah.
So
No, you're not wrong.
maybe
I don't
something
think
going
I don't
on
think he was
before
great
then.
before that either.
Right.
I think Lehkonen, I think he was at maybe 40%. He's their best puck battle forward. He goes to the boards every single chance he can, and I've seen him against good teams.
Kadri was getting owned.
Kadri didn't look good.
He was getting owned.
But I
he
mean,
tried to hit Barbashev a couple times and he got reverse checked. Just bounced his head back.
the problem is like it was kind of like no, I mean pun intended because but it was kind of like an avalanche of like misfortune for the Avalanche because it started from the top line and worked its way down. It's like the top line couldn't get going, so the Knights were able to focus more energy on the lower lines because the top line wasn't doing all that much. Eichel played McKinnon great. I will not take anything away from that. Eichel played McKinnon really, really good.
It's like the reverse of that Drake song. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the top, now we're here.
Yeah. I'm going to start off by kind of giving the Knights the flowers that they do deserve. They do deserve a lot of flowers. The Knights smothered the Avs.
So many flowers.
So many flowers. Fleury's not playing anymore. Didn't Fleury play for the Knights at one point?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Anyway, we brought the flower back for the Knights. Anyway, so they smothered the Avs in a lot of situations. They controlled the center of their defensive zone pretty much the entire game. They kept the Avs to the perimeter. The Avs couldn't move the puck the way that they usually do. They couldn't make the cross-ice passes. And whenever they did, they kept them out there. They kept from one perimeter to the other.
What do you do when you have a Colorado team that can't come in off the rush and beat you with their speed? When you've got 2 D-men back, they're playing at least 2 forwards back.
Yeah.
There was one guy, up in the play, but they're playing with nearly the whole team back.
Yeah.
As soon as they had the lead, the whole neutral zone was clogged up.
And that's the thing. The Avalanche couldn't score first.
They're having a hard time getting into the zone on their power play. Some of them power plays, they had one shot on net or
I'm
no
gonna
shots
be
on net.
entirely honest with you. That's been all season long. They do this stupid slingshot and they always do the same thing. And now that they have Natchez, they do a double slingshot
Double slingshot.
every single
Flying
time.
V, double slingshot.
And all you have to do is
Triple D.
just crowd the blue line. That's all you have to do to stop them.
Well,
All you
yeah.
have to do to stop them.
I thought it was interesting. I was listening to Biz, and he said, Avs need to do nothing except get a power play for next year. Is there any validity to that?
Yes. I mean, think about it. They were the best. Obviously, they were the best 5-on-5 team. That's exhausting. That's exhausting through a season to not be able to have a power play. You don't have that advantage. You're always fighting for every goal. In power plays, you fight for goals too, but it's not the same as. I say they fought for every goal. They scored a lot of goals, but the Knights are built this way to grind out all season long, and the Avs are just built to take you away early.
Yeah.
And if they can't do that,
It gets really tough.
It gets really tough.
And then when it's a low scoring game and they get a power play late third period and then they don't capitalize, it's like it makes it really tough. It makes it really tough.
Yeah.
And when you have a team like Vegas that's so sound defensively, 5-on-5, and they're like, hey, we're not going to run and gun with you. We're going to keep it this low scoring game. If you can't cash in on the power play, that might be it.
And that's the thing, though. The Avs had their chances. They had the power plays. They had the chance to go up 2-0 in game 2 and then 4-2 in game 3. And they couldn't capitalize on those power plays. And I get it. The other team's trying to. But you have to. You have to win these games. And if you don't, that's a recipe for a loss.
Yeah.
And Hart played well. He played numbers wise. He played very good.
You know what's funny?
I'm still not
hearing
convinced.
this from a Avalanche fan though. I've and a lot of the rest of the league, people that talk about the Avs, they've said Wedgwood, Blackwood aren't as good as they might appear to be. And it's funny that Vegas has such a good defense, and then Hart puts up all these great numbers, and now everyone's like, well, Hart's not that good either.
Well,
and maybe that's true because, it was a different series against the Ducks, different series against
So my
the
thing
Mammoth.
with Wedgwood is he was the leading goalie in the regular season, right? And then he tapered off in the playoffs. He's a little older. He's never played this many games. I think he played like 20 more games than he's played in his entire career. And he's 32. He's always been this backup role. I do have faith in Blackwood. If he can just stay healthy and he can string together some games, I do think that he'll be better. He played pretty well for the Sharks.
Do you think that Vegas playing Colorado might be the reason that they win the cup? Because sometimes
they have a lot of momentum.
Sometimes you need an opponent that will force you into the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And they weren't playing. They were playing a little bit more sloppy against the Ducks.
Yeah.
And Hart's numbers weren't as good in the first two series.
Yeah.
And then they played a explosive Avs team, and they tightened up. They hit their stride.
Yeah.
And they honestly, it brought out the best in Vegas, unfortunately.
We'll talk a little bit.
Fans.
We'll talk a little bit more about Vegas whenever we're discussing the finals, I think. I want to talk about not necessarily where the Avs are going to go, because we'll have plenty to talk about over the offseason. But again, power play sucked again. The Avs seemed to play a little scared throughout, like they were scared to lose, I don't know. They just, maybe not game 1. Maybe they came out a little faster in game 1. They played pretty well in the first period in game 3. I still wasn't feeling great about it because all the Knights had to do was just tighten up. And then they ended up coming back and winning that game pretty handedly. But throughout the playoffs, the Avs dictated most of the play. They played well in certain areas in this series. They controlled a little bit of the tempo at times, even with playing sloppily and not playing great. So my question here, do you blame Bednar for how this series played out? Or do you just run it back? And
I don't know if you fire him necessarily, but
he's on a short leash. Either way, he's on a short
my feeling,
leash.
and we've talked about this, my feeling was they needed some emotional leadership in those areas, and they got a very collected Bednar that's led them to great success in the past, that they needed to be disrupted out of their way of thinking or something. So you got St. Louis, that he's such a great motivator in Montreal.
He's so young.
You've got Torts, where he's saying all the right things. He's saying he's giving complete ownership to the group. He's fueling them through his weird antics and getting them to a place where they can, get ahead. I don't know if I saw that from Bednar. That was a little surprising from me, that he comes out in game 2, lost 2 at home. Okay, comes out in game 3. They let a 3-goal lead.
He does have a very similar. He says the same thing, and almost every time. It's
nothing.
Like he appreciated the game that they were playing. They just weren't getting bounces, and there was some of that. There was some puck luck that wasn't going their way. But there was nobody there was nobody that crashed the net other than Landeskog.
Me and you, it seemed like the common consensus was, watching these games, when they're close, Vegas seems to eke them out. They seem to win.
All these games were close. They weren't that far off.
When you hear your coach, it seems like everybody has a pulse of what's going on. And your coach, it seemed like he didn't quite have it. It was like, things aren't going our way, and these are close games, and we're losing them. And it seems like when they're close games, we tend to lose them.
So
why not change something?
Last season, before the trade deadline, Bednar made a comment of they had way too many passengers on the team. And then they had a hectic trade deadline. They had a hectic off season. They had a trade deadline this season. So that message seemed to resonate a little bit. This season, he hasn't really had that message. He haven't really had to up until this moment all that much. He's almost like one of the guys. You know what I mean? He's not really that coach that the players love and hate, And maybe that message is just a little stale, like it was a good message for the 2022 Cup. It was a good message at other points, but...
Well, he's very systems oriented.
He is.
And he, even after wins, he says, that was we won. I wasn't happy about how we won.
Yeah.
I know how we should be playing, and we weren't playing that way, even though we won. And so what happens when the systems collapse? What happens when the guys don't have anything left in the tank after 121 point season after playing so good in the first 2 rounds?
You're like you said, he's the analytical type. He's really good at mixing around lines and like getting the right fit, and he did that a lot throughout this series. And at times it seemed to work, and then it just kind of fizzled out. I don't know. Getting off Bednar, last thing on him.
Did you hear Torch say, leave Betsy alone to the media?
Well, he is a great coach.
He is.
And the thing about it is, if that message is just staled, fizzled out a little bit, he's got 1 more year on the contract. We'll dive more into this in the offseason.
I don't think he gets fired. I don't think
he'll ride out the contract. If he goes, it's not a firing. It's a moving on. It's you have done a lot for this organization. You've turned this franchise around. Like he came in whenever they were at their lowest point and built that team up. Other contributing factors as well, but he was a big part of it. And if he does end up moving on, he's going to get picked up very fast. Toronto, he would fit Toronto very well, I think.
Well, yeah. And
that's kind of a proving
for
ground
any
him,
coach
too.
coming in, you have two generational talents on the same team.
It's true. That's true. He helped build them.
Very, very, very rarely happens.
Yeah.
So you've got those two pieces.
Yeah.
If you can be at least somewhat competent with the rest,
Yeah.
and get it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I want to ask that one because we're running a little long here on time. But so for final thoughts for this series, this one hurt fairly less than last year's loss to the
Nico
Stars.
Rantanen.
Yeah, that one hurt. That one carried with
Natural
me.
Hattie against
That one
Dallas.
still kind of resonates.
And they'd probably win that series if they had Rantanen.
I don't know about that. They weren't playing great that season.
Maybe not.
They were playing pretty
Maybe
rough.
not.
And Natchez has been really good. Lay off Natchez, Avalanche fans. Yeah, he didn't score a ton
Yeah,
of goals.
look, he didn't help at all. He didn't get any goals. That's fine.